Hello and welcome to the introduction to your human biology class. This is going to be typically how your lectures will be formatted. So a video and an audio along with your slides. So today we're just going to talk about your introduction to the class. So here is a little introduction of me, your instructor. Things you can call me: Miss Sullivan, Professor Sullivan. You can call me Miss Rachel. I don't really mind what you call me as long as you don't call me Doctor or Mrs. I don't have a doctorate and I'm not married. I am 27 years old. I went to Webster from 2011 to 2015. It was some of the greatest schooling I ever got. It was a fun time. From 2015 to 2018, I went to SIUE, where I was a TA for 6 consecutive semesters. And then this gentleman here, right in the middle of my slides, is my very lovely boyfriend, Shay, which he may come up every once in a while or maybe walk through the frame, who knows. These are my lovely cats. You may have seen the little orange one, Minnie, pop up onto the bed. You may see them from time to time in my videos. The little orange one is Minerva, yes, from Harry Potter, and the little black and white one is Teddy. He's pretty rambunctious, but he'll probably sleep the most on the bed. Because it's a St. Louis thing to ask, especially being raised in St. Louis, I know this, and I've asked it 100 times. I went to Melville High School. It was a fun time, but from the time that I was 12 years old until I was a little bit older, I wanted to be a mortician, and that was my dream, that was my goal. But things took a little twist, went a little bit differently, and I became a college instructor. When I was in college, I liked a lot of different classes, and I would highly suggest always and forever to try out different classes than what's in your field, as well as what you think you might be interested in. Give yourself a little bit more knowledge on topics that you might not know very much about. For me, it was animals, anatomy, and ecology. They were all really, really interesting classes, and I'd always suggest taking classes that are outside your wheelhouse. Teaching became a passion when I entered grad school. It was never something I thought I'd ever be interested in, and it became what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And something interesting yet weird, I have dissected over 150 cats at least, and that number grows every semester I teach. Some hobbies that I'm kind of proud of. I like to paint, specifically pets. I really like to paint my friends' dogs or cats. People are a little bit harder to paint. I like to cook. I love pasta. I especially love to cook pasta. And very odd about me, but I do quite enjoy watching Dr. Phil. It's one of my favorite things to watch. A few more weird things about me. Not that you didn't have an impression of how odd I was before, but I am allergic to fruit as well as some nuts. If it's cooked, I'm not allergic to it because the pollen gets cooked out of it. But otherwise, raw fruits, not really vegetables so much, but cause my mouth to swell up in kind of a little weird way. It's very interesting. My master's thesis, so what I did for grad school, was a project over the frog that you see there. Not that one specifically, but that species of frog, which is called the Rocky Mountain tailed frog. They're very interesting animals in that they live in these very fast-moving streams, and they're a very old species of frog. They're very primitive, as it says there in the description. And I looked at whether or not they were handed, meaning they were either right or left-handed or not at all. And spoiler alert, they weren't, which was a pretty cool discovery to make. A couple of my favorite shows, Strange Magic is a movie that I really like. The Jurassic Park series I could probably watch any day, any time. I'm much more into Marvel than DC, and the show The 100 got me through most of the pandemic and staying home during quarantine, as well as Sabrina. So I also like anime and manga, as well as graphic novels like The Walking Dead is one of my favorite ones. I really like different types of anime, so maybe that might be something we have in common. I adore taking time for myself to take baths. It's the way that I relax, and I really quite like using bath bombs. And if you need suggestions, there's a nice one right there. And if you feel like bribing me anytime during the semester, I'd highly suggest using gummy fruit candy, which is my favorite, and not chocolate. I'm kind of one of those weird people who don't really like chocolate all that much. So what I want you guys to do is to send me an email with all of this information. So make sure you include everything. I want your full name though, your age, if you want to tell me your academic interest, maybe the field you're going into, something you'd really like to learn from this class, because I'd really like to work that into the class. If you want to learn why you wear glasses, if you wear glasses or contacts, what it's called that's potentially wrong with your eyes, email it to me. I would love to incorporate that. Anything you might have an interest in. Don't let anything be off the table. As long as it involves the human body, we can work it in. And then tell me something interesting about yourself. Maybe something that you found that you related to with what I said about me, or maybe something different that maybe sets you apart from other people. Something interesting about you. So let's go over kind of what I expect from you from this semester, as well as what's expected of me and what you should expect from the class. First and foremost, I want you to get an understanding of the human body and the functions of the various systems. Perhaps this is going to set you in a new direction. Maybe you find a new passion. Maybe you find a side thing that you're really interested in. But either way, I'd like to help you kind of focus in on maybe what you want to do with your future. If it has anything to do with this, awesome. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. I am going to try to teach you some skills in test taking as well as studying. I am going to have some study guides to give you for this class and help you take notes. So this is going to be a learning experience in note taking as well. And then maybe this could be a basis for future classes, maybe even future careers for you. Who knows? So as I said, that is my name, that is the class that we are in, there is my email address. You have to use this email in order to contact me. I also need you to use your Webster email. If you don't use your Webster email, then I'm not going to know that it's you, and I will not respond. Or if I do respond, it's going to ask you to use your Webster email. The times that we're going to be meeting are Tuesday and Thursday at 2 o'clock. I'm not sure how long it will run to. I doubt it will go the full 2 hours almost. But we will see. We will see on our first day, and I will be sending you an email letting you know how that will look. It'll probably be in a Zoom meeting, but we're going to kind of play it by ear here at first. You can read the course description yourself, but we are going to be covering human biology geared towards non-majors, so non-biology majors more specifically, what you are. And we are going to be talking about the organization of the human body based on its anatomy and physiology. We'll talk about what those terms means, and we're going to focus on your curiosities and interest. I think it's always important to incorporate that. I do need you to get the textbook, which is the Human Biology book, the 14th edition by Sylvia S. Mader and Michael Windel-Spetch. however you want to say his last name, but it is this book. It is quite nice. I do enjoy this book quite a lot. I'm not going to require you to read directly from it. I'm going to advise you to read from the book because it will help you understand the concepts. It will also help you fill out the homework. Might even help you on the exams. Who knows? I'll probably take questions from the book. So I'd highly suggest getting it. Although I can't make sure that you get it, I would highly encourage it. Along with that book, this is a book you do not need. Let me say that again. You don't need this book, but I am using some of the figures and information from this book as well. I already had the notes based off of this book, but if you really want it, it is Seeley's Essentials of Anatomy and Physiology, the 10th edition. But the book that I put in the slides on your syllabus, that is the book that I will ask of you to get if you're going to get any book at all. Here's your grading breakdown. You're going to have 4 lecture exams, a syllabus exam, we'll talk about what that is, 10 quizzes, 4 lab exams. That's going to be a little contentious. I'm not sure if I'm going to incorporate that just yet, or if I'm going to divvy up those points into your lecture exams. So that's a little bit on the fence at the moment. 10 labs and 1 final project. So the syllabus exam is going to be an exam that you automatically have an A on. You already have those 100 points. The purpose of this syllabus exam is to encourage you to read through the syllabus, look at your schedule, the due dates. It's also going to encourage you to look at my emails. I want you to do all of these things before you send me an email asking me when something's due. What is this quiz or exam going to include? I'm very, very clear on what I include. So whether that's through the notes, through your syllabus, through the schedule, I'm very clear on what's included on what and when it is due. So if you ask me questions like that through the semester, I will be docking 5 to 10 points depending on how much I have to repeat, which I don't enjoy doing. This is going to encourage you to be more independent and search for the answer rather than trying to just get it handed to you. So it's just to be more independent, not for me to be mean to you. That's not to say that you can't email me for some type of, there's Teddy, some type of clarification. I want you to feel like you can email me to ask me to clarify things. I'm happy to do that. Just don't ask me for due dates or something that I've already answered. Just try to find the answer on your own. Unless it has to do with material, try to figure it out yourself, because I give you plenty of things that say when things are due, what's on what. For your exams and quizzes, they will be exclusively online. There are due dates for those. It's going to be on Fridays by midnight. Do not wait until 30 minutes before something's due to start it. There may be something that goes wrong. The quiz could mess up. Your computer could run out of battery. Maybe someone hits a transformer near your house and you lose electricity and don't have internet. Do not wait until the day that it is due, 30 minutes before it's due, to start an exam or a quiz, because I might not be able to help you, give you an extension, anything of that nature. So you're gonna need to kind of allot the time to do what's due. Okay? Some academic honesty. My policy on that is I have 0 tolerance for it. If I find out that you are cheating on quizzes or exams with your fellow classmates or anything to that effect, you will get a 0, and I will not let you retake it. And if I find out you do it again, then I will remove you from the class. As far as extra credit goes, there will be multiple opportunities for extra credit. I will provide it in the form of assignments or extra work. I will not take suggestions or requests for extra credit. I don't give extra credit just to a single person. If I offer it, it will be to the whole class. So please don't ask for extra credit. As far as your grades go, everything should be posted pretty immediately to not Blackboard, but to Canvas or World Classroom, however we are talking about it at the moment. But don't wait to tell me that you're having a problem, if you're not understanding the material, if the quizzes and exams aren't going the way you want it to. You need to talk to me so that I can help you. I don't know there's a problem until you tell me. And I don't know how to help you until you tell me. So you have to communicate that. And then last but not least, because I want to make sure that we're all on the same page with this, how we are going to treat each other. Don't be rude. Act like an adult. You are adults. We are in a professional setting. When we are in our meetings, I want you to be professionals. When speaking to me, either through email or on Zoom, I want you to be professional. That's not to say we can't have fun. Just don't be rude. Don't say things that would be misconstrued as being rude. I do not tolerate that at all. Here is a breakdown of your schedule, and with my little video, I am blocking that last 2 days, which there is your 10th quiz and your last exam, which says that it is not comprehensive, as well as you have a final project due that Friday. So you have a few things due that Friday. Just make sure that you are aware of that schedule. Everything that's in red is for the first exam. The second exam is in blue, third exam is in yellow, and the fourth exam is going to cover everything that is in green. So, like I said before with that syllabus exam, this is how I like to keep everything organized. You know exactly what's going to be on the first exam, second exam, what should be on the quizzes will only be what was covered for that week. So, for example, your fourth quiz on October 2nd is only going to cover chapter 15. Your exam 5, your quiz 5 on the 9th of October is only going to cover chapter 16. Meanwhile, quiz 1, which is going to be on the 4th, will cover chapter 1 and chapter 3. So it's only what is covered the week before or the week of, if that makes sense. Okay, if you do have questions, please ask me. I'm more than happy to clarify that. Now, your final project, this is the rubric for it. The objective is to write a research paper over a topic of your choosing pertaining to something we've discussed in class or even loosely discussed, something that's interesting to you. If you really thought bone remodeling was cool, awesome, let's do it. If you think ectopic pregnancies are interesting, do it. If you thought the process of aging was really interesting and you find an interesting, more specific topic potentially than that, then go for it. Just run the idea by me first before you start writing the paper. I have to approve it. Chances are I'm going to start asking you guys to send me emails pertaining to the topic that you want to talk about sometime around midterms or after midterms. There are 10 citations required. You can write them in MLA or APA formatting. I'm not very picky, as long as you use proper citations, not Wikipedia. The length of your paper maximum is 5 pages, so it's not that long, to be perfectly honest. There is no minimum, just as long as maybe it's more than 1 page. If you can fit everything into 1 page, you're kind of a master at paper writing, I suppose. But I want you to actually try and put the effort in. It will need to be submitted by that last Friday by midnight. And a few rules: proper grammar and punctuation. I will take points off for those not being correct, as well as spelling. Coherency is going to be important. I want you to actually write it out instead of putting it in bullet point form. If you plagiarize the paper, you get a 0, and potentially I will kick you out of the class and you'll get an F or an incomplete. The font needs to be Calibri. I prefer to read that font as well as 12-point font, and have fun with the paper. I want you to enjoy it. I don't want it to just be work. I want you to learn something from the topic that you are studying. And last but not least, I do want there to be a title page, or at least a title. That doesn't have to be included in the 5 pages, neither does the citation page. The citation page does need its own page. If you want to have a title page as well, that doesn't have to count towards the 5 pages that are maximum. So you could have 7 pages technically. And then last but not least, a nice little summarization of what I expect of you, what you should be doing if you're confused at all. I want you to be attending lab. This will be on Tuesday or Thursday or both, depending on what works for us, what we can get to work. This will be through Zoom or WebNet Plus or whatever we can kind of use. And we will be going over the anatomy of various structures together. This is also going to be how you complete your worksheets. You can kind of work ahead and use the notes and your book if you want to complete those worksheets, but I will be going over them specifically with you. I want you to be watching and reading my lectures. So this is the PowerPoints as well as the videos that I'll be sending you. I want you to take notes. I may try to format some form of note-taking study guides for you so that it can help organize your notes. I want you to complete the quizzes and exams on time, so make sure you're double-checking the schedule. And then your final project will eventually be something you need to do. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to email me, but you should work on getting that introduction email together, and then we'll be good to go. I look forward to working with you guys this semester, and again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me.